Well, hi there. My name is Ruud Bolsius. I'm a senior project manager and marketeer, and my presentation of today is on the subject of senior project management and in relation to marketing. Project management for me is more than a collection of competences. It is a kind of an art, the art of being there. And in my presentation today, I want to make clear that being a project manager of complex international or national projects is such a nice job that you have to like it. First of all, project management is for me has four dimensions. It is about yourself as a project manager. It is about the structure of the project. It is about your team, and it is about the environment of the project. These four dimensions are very important to make clear what the position is of yourself, the project, in relation to your sponsor and to the folks who give you the trust to do the project. The project manager is so important that it is more important than the structure of a project. Project success is for a large part determined by the person of the project manager. So it's very important that you know who you are, what your strengths are and your weaknesses, and the clarity about the way you function as a project manager is a very important rule for yourself, but also for your team and for the people who sponsor your projects. So the me question, so about you, your role in the project is so important that it is clear that you want to make yourself in the position in the heart of the project. There are four interesting elements in your personality, which I call thinking styles. Thinking styles where you need to handle them in the project. The thinking styles are based, I make clear, on four colors. First, you can be a green person, you can be a red person, a yellow person, or a blue one. A green person is a project manager who is very fond of and sticks to procedures, to rules, to structure. And a more yellow-oriented thinking style in project managers is a project manager who thinks in concepts, more global, more in ideas, more in the creative dimensions. Then the third one is the red-oriented thinking style, which is more based on emotions, feelings, impulses, more on situation-based acting. And the last one is the blue-oriented thinking style, which is more oriented to facts, figures, the hardcore of the project. Everyone, so also counts for project managers, has a dominant or two dominant thinking styles. So please be aware that concerning the type of project which you are going to undertake, it is important that you know your own thinking styles. Imagine a very creative, global thinking project manager who has a project where it is very important that there are clear procedures, a straightway infrastructural project, for instance, with facts and figures. I think that's the wrong man or woman on the wrong place. So rule one is be aware of the connection between your thinking styles and the type of project you are going to undertake. Furthermore, that's the we question, the question of your team. good project manager should be aware that the strength of a team is so important that it is one of the second most important factors for success. The team needs to be differentiated in thinking styles. It needs to be additional to your own competences. More of the same is in most cases not the right way to do a project in a successful way. In order to build trust on your team, you need to have the conviction that it's not only about you in the project, but that it's more about the we factor. The strength of a team is not to be underestimated. So, the person of the project manager, the role of the team, and then we have the kind of structure, what I call the it dimension. Structure is important. Every project needs a structure. It needs the clear vision on the time, the money, the way it should be undertaken, the procedures, the program, etc., etc. But remember that it is not the most dominant factor, but you need it. You need an infrastructure, and also your sponsor needs to be informed about a good infrastructure in your project in order to build trust on it. It's all about trust. It's trust in yourself, it's trust in your team, but it's also about trust for your sponsor. So the classical way of looking at project management is that you need a work breakdown structure, you need a project startup, you need when it's a complex project, you need good software system, all the things in classical project management. But in the interrelation between the personal factor, the team factor, and the infrastructure factor, that is the heart of the project. The fourth and last dimension of project manager is the sponsor. That's the people who gave you the trust, who gave you the money, who gave you the time to fulfill the task of coming to an output and an outcome. The role of the sponsor, the role of the clients behind the sponsor, if it's not the same, is also very important. And it is your task as a project manager to communicate as clear as possible with your sponsors. But please be aware that sponsors can also have double agendas. Also, sponsors can give you the feeling that they have the power to do everything in the project. But at the end of the day, you recognize that there's someone behind the sponsor who has perhaps more influence. And most of the time, in every project, which is a bit of complicated character, there are more agendas and more sponsors. So for instance, take an example from history. When Christopher Columbus started his discovery travel, there were a number of sponsors. There were the Spanish Queen, there was the Roman Catholic Church, there was also Columbus himself, so they had different agendas. And it was his role as project manager to handle those different agendas with a bunch of criminals on the ship to end the project in a successful way. So the lesson from Christopher Columbus is that it is an expedition. Your project with a much complicated character is a kind of an expedition. There's a lot of uncertainty. And your role as a project manager is to handle that and to go step by step to more certainty. So project management is looking at those kind of things, the question of your person, the team, the structure, and the sponsor. But there's more. There's more, because you also have to make the clear connection between the dimensions of your project with the type of person you are, more yellow oriented or blue oriented or green oriented with the type of project. For me, there are four types of projects. First of all, there's the AIR project. That is a project in the area of research and change. There you need a more creative competences. So research project demands creative competences and of course the other things. There are also the FIRE, what I call the FIRE project. That's more project in a political area where politics quite clear intervene with the project, where you have all kind of factors which influence your project in not a clear direction. Then you need to be, as a project manager, diplomatic. You need to handle the political affairs in a very distinctive and clear way. But there also are water projects. Water projects are about cooperation. Cooperation as one of the main targets in the project. And then you need your communication skills in order to be able to handle that type of project. And at the end of the day, there are also what I call earth projects. That's more project in the technical, infrastructural way. And then you need your pragmatic, realistic approach. So if you look at all those factors which you can handle as a project manager, it is quite a complicated business to do. But moreover, it is a creative way of handling reality. And that's why I call it Alice without Wonderland. There is no wonderland in projects. There is a way to handle all the different varieties you can meet as a project manager. But the most important thing is be clear about yourself, be creative, and try to use your team in such a way that you can convince your sponsors that you're the right person in the right way. In national, international projects, in a more physical approach or in a more virtual dimension, it's all about the same. Be there and be there in the right moment, in the right way. Thank you very much.